Okay, guys, today for reading, you are going to really just be continuing the research that you've already started on your topic, and you'll be working by yourself today. Yesterday, you had a chance to share with your group mates and talk about key ideas that everybody found and switch books and things like that. And you can always switch books, you don't need to wait for me to tell you to do that. And then you can always look for your topics on Epic. Just remember, you're not allowed to use Google or things like that. If you go to the library at home or here at school and you want to take a book out, you can do that. But we are trying to use books rather than internet articles for this particular assignment. So it's nice when before you start doing a research project, to have questions, because if you don't have questions, then it can be kind of boring and aimless, like you don't really know what you're looking for. So it is important to have your questions initially. But one thing to consider is that as you read more and you research more and you take more notes, you really should have more questions. If you don't have more questions or more thoughts on it, then I would question whether or not you're learning anything new. Because every time you learn something new, that should spur on another thought, another new idea in your head about that topic. So this is the chart you're going to be gluing into your notebook today, thinking and wondering in response to reading, because you don't want to just be an autonomous robot taking notes because your teacher says so. Today, I want you to glue this chart in and think about new questions you have about your topic and your subtopics, right? Because you had that list of subtopics. So you might be saying things like, how does this fit in with that? So remember, with my example book, I've got my subtopics that I wrote down, and some of them were from the table of contents. So maybe I ask myself, okay, well, what do plants have to do with solar energy? And I might start saying, I'm realizing that plants are important because they collect energy. But now I'm wondering, how do plants do that? So what I want you to do today is take the notes that you already have, and in your notebook, I want you to use at least 3 of these stems to come up with new thoughts about what you've been researching. So at least 3. 3 is not very many. So if you want to do more, or if you have time to do more, I would encourage you to do more, even if you don't just use these stems to keep researching. So you have the goal is 20 minutes of research today. So you can split that up however you want, but you're gluing in the chart, you're looking at the stems that are here, and immediately you should have some things come to mind if you've been really paying attention to your research. And you're going to write down your 3 statements that start with these stems. And then if you want to come up with more questions, because now you've got more questions because you know more, you can do that. And then you can spend the rest of the time just researching. So you can always use the clock or set a timer to make sure that you're spending 20 minutes on this today, because I don't want this to be a lost day. You can get this chart from my green stool in the front of the room. I'm just going to put them there on top of my notebook. So you'll be able to get this chart from there. So make sure that you do that today.